UH League of Champions, weekly update time. Commissioner Murdoch here. Let's get one thing out of the way. Let's talk about this Cleveland Browns team. Horrific injury to Nick Chubb. Hate to see it. Potentially career-ending injury for that kid. It was awful to watch. I turned off the game. I didn't want to watch any more football. Didn't want to think about fantasy football. It really, really affected me. And that's weird because I don't know these people. But, T's and P's for Nick Chubb. I hope things work out for the kid. From all accounts, he's not a bad fella. But Jerome Ford, not bad, right? Young guy, not bad. And we got Kareem Hunt back. So let's see what Stefanski can put together as far as this offense, utilizing their $230 or $260 million man, Deshaun Watson. I'm not sure if that's going to turn out to be a great move on the Browns, but Browns are the Browns, of course, we all know. Let's talk UH League of Champions fantasy football weekly update now. Let's take a look at who had the high-scoring team this week. I'm not sure. Let me look at the... It was me! It was me. I was a little worried. That first week, but looks like my team put some things together this week, and now we're gonna let it marinate a little bit and see how things turn out. I told you, Jonas. I warned you, son. You mock my Backstreet Boys, and this is what happened to you. So this is for you. I don't know if you knew this, but growing up, I had a Backstreet Boys sleeping bag. Big fan, probably a t-shirt or two. Okay? Yeah. Who doesn't love this song? Who doesn't love this song? My fire, the one desire. When I say I want it that way, but we are two worlds apart. As for you, bud, let's take a look at your team, your squad. How'd they do this week? Another average day, another average week for your squad. I think you're going to have an average year because you cursed yourself, son. But don't go changing that name now. Don't go doing it now. You're going to have an average year, and that's okay. We all do. I'm pretty sure you've had an average year every year. Let's move on to the next contest. Oh, Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie. 154 points. You came from the bottom last week. I thought you were moving up, buddy. I told you. You drafted a good team. You did. Had a bad week. Had a great week this week. And you lose Nick Chubb. Saquon. Joey Burrow's calf hurts. Love Joey Burrow. Athens guy, went to Athens High School. Dad was a high university coach. I went to high university. The guy's going to be injury prone, I have a feeling, bud. But you got Kamara coming back. I don't know. Who's your QB2? Derek Carr, average game managing quarterback. Might not have a bad year over there in the Saints in New Orleans. So we'll see what happens. Depth doesn't look great. You do have Odell Beckham, who I hear is now dating Kim Kardashian. That can't be good for football. That can't be good for football. But we'll have to see how things go. Oh, Fast Eddie, man. My heart breaks for you, buddy. Rancourt, you're 0-2 now. Squad didn't look great. Josh Allen did his thing. Gabe Davis, who I think was a 0 last week. I don't remember. He was a question mark. Had a great couple of weeks last year, if I recall. He put up some points for you. Kenny Walker's a guy over there in Seattle. I love this Jahmyr Gibbs fella. I think I'm pronouncing his name wrong every single time I talk about it. I don't worry about you, Rancourt, right now because we know you can work the wire. I talked about it last week. You always put up a good team, even when things go bad for you. I think this Watson kid's coming back from injury, so we'll see what happens. Looks like Sky Moore had a great year or a great week from your bench. Adam Thielen is back in the mix. It appears that he's jiving with his new young quarterback. So I'm never going to count you out, Rancourt. I'll worry in midseason if you still have a losing record, but we're not worried yet. Let's go over to Merriam and Jack Weber. Merriam beat the pants off of Weber's team. Sandusky Sleeper look like they're both 1-1. She's got Mahomes, McCaffrey. That's a dangerous tandem. Najee's not doing what we expect him to do. DJ Moore out of Chicago. Okay, putting up some points with Fields. Nico Collins. What an interesting situation that is. He is a guy right now over there in Houston. Darren Waller, I expect him to continue to produce. Did we leave anything on the bench? Dangerous, putting up 33 on the bench, but we're starting Mahomes every single week, right? But maybe that gives you some depth at quarterback. We'll see what Coach Payton does with that fellow over there. He's such a joke, though. Russell Wilson. Oh, whatever. Oh, Jack, what's going on, buddy? I think you had a good week last week. I don't think Justin Fields is your guy. We know we love this Richardson kid. I have him in a few other leagues. Devontae Smith is a guy. My dogs are barking at other dogs. Marquise Brown putting up some points for Arizona. I don't even know who the quarterback is over there right now, but it looks like he was able to connect with Marquise for some points. Nothing on your bench. Should we be worried? I'm not sure, buddy. Oh, let's look at Greg and Jen. Jen coming off a horrible week last week. Looks a lot better. Danny apparently is throwing some dimes. You got DeAndre Swift, who's the guy over there in Philly, as your RB. Not worried about A.J. Brown. He'll do something. Not worried about Mixon. I don't know who Jake Ferguson is. Did Dallas lose a TE? Is this their backup TE? I'm not sure. Van Jefferson, obviously doing nothing for you. Did you leave any points on the bench? Amari Cooper, seems to have a connection with Watson, so we'll see how things go over there. Not too worried about Jen's squad. Greg, look great over there. You got Herbert, Pierce, White, Devontae, CeeDee Lamb looks fantastic. Kyle Pitts isn't doing what we thought he would do. So maybe we're worried at TE. I don't know about depth over there, buddy. But we'll have to see. You got Jerome Ford as the Cleveland Browns RB1 now with our boy Chubb hurt. We'll see if Hunt cuts into his carries. But he doesn't look terrible, and probably because of the Browns O-line, but we'll have to see about that. Let's move on to Michael and Lacey, who had the highest scoring player this week with Kirk Cousins at 37 points. Also has Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson on the squad over there at Minnesota. As long as that Minnesota train keeps rolling, you're going to have a fantastic fantasy football season. I don't see Justin Jefferson slowing down. Kirky benefits from him. DeAndre Hopkins over there in Tennessee, hopefully he turns things up. Metcalf, average day. Don't anticipate him doing bad. Cam Akers, we're worried about, now traded to Minnesota, but you were smart. I don't know who this Kyrie Williams fella is, but you handcuffed him to Cam Akers, and so that's going to work out for you. He put up 27 points on your bench. Jade Reed, 19, wide receiver out there in Green Bay. Seems to be connecting with Jordan Love, so we'll see what you do with that guy. Jordan Addison over there in Minnesota. You love Minnesota. Was that on purpose? Like, do you know people up there? She's a Minnesota fan. You might want to buy those kids some Minnesota t-shirts. Might get you some luck there. Michael, on the other hand, Brian Robinson Jr. out of Washington had a fantastic day. Tua, average day, as we discussed. Tua is going to be injured before the end of the season, 100%. I will bet money on that. Alexander Madison, what's he doing over there in Minnesota? Not producing, that's for sure. Maybe that's why they traded for Cam Akers. I don't know. Is it going to be running back by committee? Is Madison still the guy? Is Akers getting the rock? We just don't know. Scary Terry on your bench. I get it. Maybe there's some quarterback questions over there. I'm not sure. in Washington. I can't remember. I don't know, Michael. I don't know. You're still hanging on Aaron Rodgers. You got 3 quarterbacks on your squad. Are you thinking A-Rod is going to come back in the playoffs and someone's going to swipe him up before you get him? I don't know what you're doing there, buddy. Maybe there's nobody on the wire because Rancourt's taking them all to replace that bench spot. But hey, I'm not going to judge you, Michael. You always seem to put together a pretty average squad. You really never make the playoffs or do anything in fantasy football. And I mean that with all due respect, sir, Supervisor Michael. So I apologize if I insulted you or offended you. Please don't get me fired. I have a house payment. Who did I miss? MDS, Michael D. Simone. I think I pronounced your name wrong, so I'm just going to call you MDS. And my buddy, my ex-boss, Jesse Preston. Oh boy, what happened here? Looks like MDS is a sneaky 2-0. Got a nice squad there. I actually really like this squad. Herbert, Henry, Pollard, Allen. I think Keenan Allen's 45 years old, can still catch the ball, run the rock. Godwin, he's going to always score some points. Andrews looks fantastic. David Montgomery in Detroit, they like him over there. What did he come out of? Chicago? I can't remember where he was. I think he was in Chicago. Now he's a guy over in Detroit. I mean, not a fantastic week. I think he had a fantastic week last week, but great flex play there. We got Sutton on the bench. He benefits from Dangerous doing crazy things. Jalen Warren, the RB over in Pittsburgh. Is he taking carries away from Najee? I'm not paying attention to that situation over there. Jared Goff with 28. Not sure if you have a quarterback controversy. I think you're just in a great spot with Goff and Lawrence. Isaiah Likely, not a bad backup. TE only scoring 1 point. And that's the UH League of Champions weekly update. Again, thank you all so much for participating. Oh, upgrades to the Murdoch household. You might have saw it last week, but after watching that first video where Molly was pulling the draft order balls, I saw how bad our couch looked like on video. I knew how bad it looked in real life, and that was a couch that my wife brought to our house before we got married, our first house. So it was really old, like maybe 16 years. And after seeing it on video, I had to upgrade. So this process actually played a huge part in me purchasing a new couch for our podcast studio here. Another upgrade is my tripod that you can't see, but it's the reason I don't need a child to hold my phone, or I don't need to lean it up against my drink when I'm doing these videos. I have a tripod now that doubles as a selfie stick. So we may in the future get some selfie stick videos where I'm wandering about the world making a video for you folks. We'll have to see how far that goes. But again, I hope to keep making videos to make this entertaining, even when I'm tired on a Thursday night after an awful, awful day of work, which I'm sure all of you can identify with. And so I hope you folks have a great week this week, except for you, Jesse Preston. Take a good look at me, son. Look me in the eyes. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you this week. Have a great week, bud.